Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about Brexit, and our very distinguished and well-connected guest, he was talking or giving us his own version, his own opinion on many of the matters. Yes, Anam bhai.
Well, I think Britain has decided, and everything is formed, everything is working. Even my Chamber of Commerce, if you look at former President Matab Chaudhry, Mukim Ahmed, all those people, they have divided within our Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Even Shagir Buk Farooq, another former president. So that we divided within our chamber. You know, some people remain, some people, even Dr. Sanwar Chaudhry was very strong in the remain. So even within our Chamber of Commerce divided by two different opinions. But I was remain very strong. Is another one, a very good friend of mine. He was also very strong in remain. Bashir Ahmad was a director and now president of the London region. So the people within, you know, small
Yes.
Divided, same as Conservative Party divided, Labour Party divided. And so it was a very tough for when people throwing a different opinion, different political script, and you really don't know which one is truth, which one is, you know,
the only party that was not divided was UKIP.
Yeah, UKIP was very strong, of course. So there is a tendency, there's a real argument. So I learned a lot in terms of political process, and I really respect that. And I think it was a great achievement for Britain. Nationalism won, and the other political script has lost. And I think, you know, this is the way you should accept that. So Britain is going forward, and I think all the problem we suffering, it will be solved by the new cabinet, and make sure Britain will be great. Britain, and
right.
you must appreciate
Inshallah.
we are in the Olympic and
yes.
doing fantastically well. So that is a success story.
Well, before I came, I checked, and they had won, I think, 51 medals.
Yeah, exactly.
22 or 23 gold, silver and bronze. See, so
yeah, I'm watching very closely because
yes,
I was there last
yes.
Olympic. So for my memory continue hitting me because I was there myself, and it was a great for my life of testament.
Yes.
Being an Olympian restaurateur.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Of the official supplier of food or something?
Yeah, I was Olympian restaurateur. Now they call me an Olympian restaurateur. So I feel very proud and honored for this, you know, title for Olympian restaurateur, you know. Yes. For me, I just think it's a great honor. Anyway, we come to the points. Obviously, has decided, and business as usual,
right.
And we should continue. But same time, many challenges ahead of us. Especially chambers, we got to communicate in our members and businesses to the mainstream, make sure they connect.
What is the, I didn't ask you, what is the function of this British Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry?
It's promoting businesses and make sure that this business, you have to unlock the potential and make sure, show them way forward. And it's kind of knowledge center, and make sure the member will find the way of business in Bangladesh. It's between Britain and Bangladesh to playing a big role, Chamber of Commerce, with influencing government and many bodies for make sure they're in the right track, and policy is government taking, make sure Chamber of Commerce is informed. So it is a very important role for Britain and Bangladesh to get together for, in many sense, political is not our involvement, it's non-political institute. Mainly for the businesses we promote and make sure any of our member in Bangladesh, they do business, is protected. And we make sure we, if any problem happen, we involve and we try to solve it.
When you say any of your member, that means people of Bangladeshi origin living in England.
Who are our members,
yes.
who are members, who will be members. And those are the people, businessmen. You know, British Bangladeshi has a huge business in Bangladesh, whether in the bank, they're in the, you know, hospitals, they're in the many different businesses. So they make sure they're protected. If they're our member, we have a responsibility to make sure.
I believe that, and because you have this love of Bangladesh close to your heart, and so you have been on CNN and ABC and NDTV, and you've been talking about this. You've been on other channels in Bangladesh also, but let us say, what were you talking about on these?
Yeah, issue was, I think once CNN pick up the story, of course, this unfortunate event in Artisan, and it was really sad story for Bangladesh.
In the Gulshan restaurant.
Gulshan restaurant. Everybody was surprised and everybody shocked really. And that turmoil went globally.
Yes.
And then I think globally the media has reacted very differently. So I just thought it's not fair. It has only happened to Bangladesh, it's happened to other country.
True.
Why is so pick up? It's like this is end. That means Bangladesh is the end, and I think it's not fair. So I try to defend my country and say, no, it's not right, because we are the country in Bangladesh, they have provided the best things in the world. And it's proven track record. If you look at the brand in the whole world, is Bangladeshi people provide. You look at Nike, you look at all those brands. This is the people who deliver to the world. Even I said, if Bangladesh, Richard was very tough, in CNN, and I said, even Bangladeshi people stop because of the reason is stop. Half of the world will be naked. They don't have a clothes to wear. That is the Bangladesh power. So I think, you have to respect that. The country has a real success story, progressing in pharmaceutically growth, which is very good. And I feel that this is one-sided. The media is trying to tarnish the Bangladesh success story. So I stood up and I said, no, you are not right. Bangladesh will continue, and Bangladesh will alone to defend those terrorists, and whatever happened to be tackled themselves. Even America was coming forward to assist them and help them. And I think they did the right thing. They said, no, we will able to do it, and they did very well.
Right. Well, whatever happens, you see, there are always 2-3 versions and 2-3 sides of this story. If Bangladesh loses this huge, we are dependent on foreign governments and foreign markets, isn't it? I mean, for our garments industries.
But so, one thing I appreciate in that particular event is the political message was very strong.
Yeah.
Because both party, opposition has opened their arm, said, opened their hands and said, let's fight together.
Yes.
And that is really good thing. When anything happened to any country, and political party must be unite together and fight. And I think this is fair.
Yeah, that was a good message.
It was a good message. But even though some of the politicians didn't able to play in the world media, so I tried to play this, and I tried to subscribe to many very different media, and I think they've taken this, which is, I said, it is absolutely crucial. And you probably see they're so confident that even America saying, can we help you? And Bangladesh said, no, we can able to,
yes, we are able to handle it
ourselves, and they did it very well. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, but my point was that there's always, if an attack takes place or somebody suffers, there's an accident or fire or arson, whatever that is, there are always some other beneficiaries, see. For the time being maybe, but some other people, some other countries, somewhere closer to Bangladesh maybe, they might be able to make profit out of this problem.
Yeah, I think you cannot blame anybody. It's always opportunist in the world, whether it is West, whether it is East, doesn't matter. Every country has looking for opportunity, and most of the nation in the world has benefited from disaster, war, and that is part of the things that happen, the problem, the crisis, the one country and another country fight, and they generate business, generate money, and that is something good to.
Yes.
So the catastrophe happen to any country, it create businesses. If you look at what you call Bin Laden, how much business he has created in the world. If you look at just the amount of scanner right across the world sold because of his terrorist activity, we feel fear, and look how much he has generated business, billions and billions. So this is always, I believe in, every disaster, you create businesses. So if Bangladesh, this incident has created business for other country, and I totally agree with you. This is something you cannot blame. You've got to be proactive yourself to compete it, give them your view that Bangladesh is in order and business as usual, and give them a confidence to people come and do business within the Bangladesh. What I see, the hospitality industry in Bangladesh is suffering really badly. The hotels occupancy has gone down to 10%, and people are
And this the social life of people who go out in the evening too.
Yeah, they feel fear. They haven't got a confidence yet. But I think present government working hard to make sure that the confidence level is to police has to be earned, and police has a lot to be answered.
Yes.
And I think that is really confidence has to build on.
Uh, do you think, in your opinion, I mean, has Brexit has had any effect on Bangladesh-UK trade?
Yeah, it will be knock-on effect in when you have those kind of turbulence in pound or dollar. It will be effect on Bangladesh too, because of the purchase.
But Bangladeshi export is related to dollar rather than
Exactly,
pound
dollar,
sterling.
but it still effect on the pound, because if you look at the people sending money to Bangladesh, you just look at one concept, is really
They're getting more.
no, from sending money from here to Bangladesh, he has been decline,
Yeah.
which is I've spoken to many people, and they're saying people are not sending the money, still waiting for improve. So this you expected, and I think all the scholar, if you don't suffer, then all the scholar will be questioned. Said, why did you make a prediction? Is nothing happening? So you made a wrong statement. So therefore, it has to be happen.
Do you want to say that they're suffering deliberately?
No, well, I wouldn't blame deliberately, but I think their prediction has to be corrected in certain degree to be fair, make sure their judgment was correct. But what I believe myself, the judgment was not 100%, is far from it.
One very important question, Mr. Anam, is about your academy that you have established, and we are running out of time, but I must touch upon that.
Well, it's not established yet. I think we just working on. It's another very big challenging for me to opening a restaurant, training restaurant, and is happening, or kitchen is already done, and now waiting to be front of us to be done, and then will be
this academy is affiliated to a college locally, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So it's something very interesting for me to see what market wants, what actually reality is, whether people want to be a chef for tomorrow or not, and that is really spending a lot of money to find out.
Yes, of course. I mean, I'm sure that people would like to become chef if it remains, curry industry does remain a big earner, and 10 billion pound sterling turnover.
Yeah, 4.6 billion.
4.6 billion, mashallah, and it's 15,000, isn't it?
No, 10,000. I think it's reduced now.
It's reduced now because I was reading somewhere that
restaurants are closing quite rapidly. Yeah.
But don't you think this concept always comes to my mind? Is, can we have the fast food concept introduced to curry?
I think this is again someone already tried and it didn't work. Not once, quite a number of times. And of course, there's a time it will be happen. I think I'm expected this could happen for next few years time. Somebody come up with the idea that make sure it's solved. You look at McDonald's started curry flavor or something, and then they stop. So the market has to be tested. You cannot be predicted it's going to be happen. But I believe myself it will happen because the market is growing, and the provider are slimming. So that's the problem. So I think that should be come up with some idea.
Okay, Anam bhai, time is fast, as like the fast food, and we have come to the end of the show. Thank you very much.
I forgot to mention to the British Curry Award. I will definitely next time update.
Okay, definitely. British Curry Awards, and when we meet again, inshallah, sometime we'll talk about it. Thank you very much for being with us, and I hope that you have enjoyed the show as much as we have. And next week again, we'll meet same time, same channel. See you again. Watch us on your TV, on your telephone, online, and obviously on your screen at your house.